Okay, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming to this live show. When you join, you share extensively so that we can bring everybody on board. God bless you, and stay tuned and keep the faith. Thank you so much. We're sorry that our show was interrupted, and so we're going to restart because we have very important messages we're going to pass on today to the Ambazonian people. So once you join, you share extensively. Let's bring this big news and everything that is happening today. Thank you very much, O.B. Wilson. God bless you all for coming, for joining the live show at this very crucial moment of our revolution. We're thankful that all of you are here today so that we can share some thoughts on very serious issues affecting the form of our revolution. So please, once you join, you share extensively, and we can start already. Thanks once more for joining. God bless you all. Okay. Thank you. Keep sharing. We'll start talking. We'll have at least, 1/4 of 1,000 people watching live. So please, once you come on live, once you come on, you share extensively, and let's get everybody on board. Thank you so much. God bless you all. God bless you. Okay. We are grateful. I will start the show in 2 minutes. So I want to thank all of you who are watching from far and near, and to let you know that we are with you in prayers, especially my brother and friend Mark Barita, who will be watching this show somewhere in the UK. Probably in a few days' time, he will be in the UK rather, but he should be watching somewhere in Belgium. So thank you so much. When you join, you share extensively. Let's bring everybody on board. Thank you, Mola Wanjo, for. I hope I always get a little problem pronouncing your name, but I'm sure you forgive me with that. But at least you should understand I'm referring to you anyway. So thanks everybody. Share to all groups. Thank you, Nola, for joining. John Tico, thank you. Everybody who is joining, we're grateful. We want to also thank you very much, Dash White Ambazonia. Thank you for joining at this juncture. We extend sincerest greetings to the people of Bali, Bali Nyonga to be precise. We also want to thank everyone who is watching us at this time, irrespective of where you're watching. We're thinking of all those of you who are watching from Oku. We are very grateful that you're out there and you're supporting the revolution. We also want to thank all those of you who are watching from Kembong, especially the Christians of the parish of Kembong, whose priest has been killed. As you can already see, the Bia's government has accused me on 5 p.m. news on CRTV for being responsible for the death of the Kenyan priest. I've just gotten that information from somebody in La Republique who has linked me on that issue. The person shared a post from the page of a notorious, certain notorious guy. I will come to the nitty-gritties of all of those, but I want to seize this opportunity to talk on a wide range of things affecting our revolution, including the military video that has been leaked from Jakiri, and to let us understand the raison d'etre of that kind of video. And then we don't have to play conspiracy as though it is a trap. It can be a trap, but to me, I see something deeper in the release of that video, because God Almighty, who is the Alpha and Omega of the Ambazonian independence movement, has actually given us a clear sign of victory. And we must stay on course in order to, get Boya delivered to us. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Ambazonians, we must remember one thing that is necessary, one thing that's important. And, we will continuously explain to a lot of people the raison d'etre of our new stance, our new decision, our new direction, the new direction of this platform in this revolution. At any time, no matter who you are, you must sit back sometimes to reflect a lot of things while you keep your policies, but you might try to compromise certain decisions in order for you to be able to reach the better good. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Ambazonians, at this juncture, I will continuously implore you or continuously crave your indulgences to understand that this revolution is bigger than the eyes of the ordinary man. That is why I have told a lot of our brothers and sisters that, it is a spiritual issue, and the Kenyan man will not be exactly very competent in understanding the new unfolding in this revolution. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Ambazonians, thank you once more for joining. You permit me, I want to pull up a couple of things from my phone before we would now continue with our revolution or discussions regarding our freedom. I want to thank you all. Please, when you join, you bring everybody on board. Let's get the show shared extensively. All those will be joining us. And I want us to understand what I'm going to talk about, this, what I call the Sokaref, or Sokaref, if you like. And it is very primordial for all of us to listen very attentively, and so that we can get exact sense and purpose for this live Facebook. And we want to say very categorically clear that our stance on the hardest form of reforms and implementation of punishments on betrayers and perpetrators of genocide in Southern Cameroon has not changed. We have only had a paradigm shift from the overall grandstanding on social media against fellow comrades of the revolution to praying for them consistently, for them to understand the purpose for why they indulged in this independence war. As a matter of fact, I also want to send a very clear message to my brother and friend, Mark Barita, that has been very receptive to the new change of the social media ideology, and for him to understand, and as he has always known and as he has always believed in, that the war that we are fighting must not be compromised based on any identities. In the past, a lot of people have accused Mark Barita, including me, of sitting on the fence. And I think I followed very closely the persistent attacks on Mark Barita by some of our compatriots based on the fact that Mark has shifted a little bit, though probably he might want to argue that he has been on his lane. But I think generally every very keen observer would want to give Mark more gratitude for a very serious reformation in his policies, because he now looks in one very big picture, which I appreciate. Formerly, a lot of people will think that Barita was somehow an agency person, just as others also thought he was an IG person. But I have always looked at him as sitting on the fence, and I've not thought differently. But until now, that I think Barita has taken a very firm stand, firmer than his stance in those days in the consortium, as far as his understanding of our revolution is concerned. As a matter of fact, I must say thank you, Brother Mark. I also want to say I am not judging you because I'm not worthy to judge you. I'm just making a very intrinsic observation and to give you a 100-gun salute and to ask you to undermine those people who write your names on their walls, trying to push you to get embittered in order to make the atmosphere, the social media atmosphere for the Ambazonian people very embattled. We will not anymore using our platforms to disrupt the social media calmness or serenity, because we understand that a lot of people want us to go back to the era of fighting. I want to also seize the opportunity to create the indulgences of other social media activists whose contributions cannot be undermined in this independence war. I'm thinking of you, Mary Bessem. I'm thinking of Kemi Ashu Kingsley. I'm thinking of Joshua Carr, Yannick Sikot, Atanganchu, Idris Cole, DJ. I'm thinking of Della, and all activists that are concerned with the fate of this revolution. I'm thinking of Lucas Asu, Capo Daniel, Vela Franklin, Tapang Ivo, and of course, I mean, like everybody who's an activist, James Brador, and there's some whose names I cannot mention. I am praying fervently for you to understand my position, for us to work as brothers, for us to work as brothers, just as I was saying, and for us to forget conspiracy theories, for us to understand that the revolution is for the people of Ambazonia and not for our family, our friends, or particular social ties. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Ambazonians, I want to state here emphatically that we are winning, and we are winning big, and that is why I am doing this special live video, sending this very special message to my friend, brother Magbarita, to let you know that I have read somewhere a few of our compatriots who are not actually in accordance, or they do not understand your motive. They're trying to call for the boycott of your book launch. But I want to seize this opportunity to add my voice to your advertisement as one of the main voices in our independence movement that I have seen your heart. You're a good man. I saw the contribution that you made to the people of Momo. I want to also extend a thank you to Dr. David Makongo, everybody in the UK and in environs, other neighboring European countries, that our brother and friend Mark Barita will be launching his book in the UK on the 8th of December. And I want you all to go out there on Mark Barita's wall and you check out the details about the launching of that book. And you have to make Mark proud as a part of some lyric compensation for the sacrifices this gentleman has made. So I implore you all from my heart, I want all of you to go out there in your numbers and try to assist Mark in launching this book. And we remember all your very precious sacrifices, because he is one man that has served this revolution with one heart. And just as every human being, like you and I, myself, like everybody, sometimes we have fallen short of the glory of the revolution, and so we have to go out there to support our compatriot. I can't say if I'll be there or not, but I must say that if you go there, either in my name or in Barita's name, it is a big support to the things we preach. So please, let's all go out there in UK, in London, and support Mark Barita. I'm thinking of Emmanuel Ekembe, who filmed the very famous video that went viral, on the deliberations in the British House of Lords. Emmanuel Ekembe is also going to be there. So we pray that all of you from the UK, you have to be there to support Barita. And when I say we are winning, I want to be categorical about the fact that we are winning. And there is no joke about my declaration, about my pronouncement on the fact that the Ambazonian independence movement is quite on track and we're winning big time. Now, I will have some proposals to make based on information that I've gathered. And this is a matter of public and social media debate for us to ensure that we try to create the public opinion for some of our privileged leaders, because nobody as of now has a right to lead Ambazonia, but people are privileged based on the confidence that the people of Ambazonia give on them, put upon them. And so we must put this in our mind to know that Ambazonia has privileged leaders. Everybody who is on social media talking is privileged. It's not a right. You only have a right when you talk about the issues that you're registered to talk about. But talking about the Ambazonian independence movement is a privilege, and you must respect the Ambazonian people once you talk about their issues. And so there is nobody in this revolution that should assume that you want to carry yourself above 10 million people, because what is important is the understanding of the aspiration of the people of Ambazonia. Now, moving from this, I want to educate us on some very important thing. One of our friends got to me a while ago talking about the name Ambazonia, and coincidentally, a day or so ago, another very serious and concrete and firm source from the United Nations also reached out to me, telling me the difficulties that we might face in terms of the name Ambazonia. And he made just as the other friend who called me, made very important proposals for the Ambazonian people to adopt. You know, the name Ambazonia is quite pretty name that, however, tries to alienate us from the originality of a people that we are. And so, if you were to address a document saying that you write to the President of the United States, you cannot write to Donald Trump as Ambazonia, for example. You can write to Donald Trump as Southern Cameroons or British Southern Cameroons. As a matter of fact, there are very serious talks about the naming, because, this revolution must be curved in such a way that we don't make any mistake, because this is a war of independence. And no matter the mistakes we make, each time we come and correct them, it gives us a plus. So the name Ambazonia is very pretty, that I support, I endorse, but given these circumstances, a lot of people, including an insider in the United Nations, has proposed that every Ambazonian should go back to the name British Southern Cameroons. This is so because it is because of the name Ambazonia that the Republic of Cameroon is using to term us terrorists, and somehow our genuine fight is somehow thwarted or put towards another direction that might give us a lot of difficulties in understanding. And so they have advised that we go back to the name to the name Southern Cameroons. I'll just interrupt here, you guys, for a while. For those who cannot share, as somebody is trying to indicate, please, you can come out of the video, then you go to my wall, then you see the share button, because when you're already in the video, you cannot share. Always share a video. When you see the video pops up, go back, share, then you come into it, because once you're watching, you can share. So I know that, they say old habits die hard. And it's just like mobility of labor, where it is difficult sometimes for somebody to leave one place to another, even if that place is better, because they are very, very used to that place. I know a lot of people will probably will not understand why I'm making this proposal for this issue about the name. It is not that we are going to La Republic, no. The name Ambazonia is good, it's beautiful, it's awesome, but we must redefine based on realities. There is nothing that exists as Ambazonia except for us. But in history, in the maps, in the papers, in everything, please, this is an educative talk, and I want us to share and understand my point. I have no reason, no gain for trying to ask us to adopt this particular thing. We are Ambazonians, no doubt, but how are we putting out this at the level of the international community? I think that we can change our name according to what has been proposed by very great intellectuals, that we can change our name after we finally get our independence, because the independence is sure. It can be changed by presidential decree and then reinstituted in the United Nations. But for now, we must understand that what is important, I urge everybody, what's important is to go by the name Southern Cameroons or British Southern Cameroons. This is so because Southern Cameroons existed before any other thing. In fact, that is a country that the United Nations has actually handed 2 maps to President Paul Biya, one for French Cameroon and one for the British Southern Cameroons. So we must understand that the interest of any activist who has the revolution at heart is to ensure that when you get any information that is vital to the people, you must try to explain and share your idea and ensure that you try to sell it as a product, just as we have done with county by county, and now we will continuously talk about a lot of other things in this live show. The Southern Cameroon's name is very primordial because I formally refused telling those who were trying to talk to me that no, it is not possible. But when they sat me down and explained to me, I came to understand exactly. You know, Southern Cameroons, all our forefathers must go back to history. All archive books from France, from Britain, everywhere we have, our name is there. The little map where the British took and gave the French, that they said un petit cadeau. That flag is there, that map is there, everybody knows. We cannot make a new map for Southern Cameroons, and so we cannot make a new name just now. The name Ambazonia can come after independence, but I think this is my candid opinion, and I am very convinced, and I feel very satisfied, or I felt very satisfied with the proposal of our people who the people who actually got to me. Now, we must understand one thing. Southern Cameroons was an independent country. We had our own parliament, our own House of Chiefs, everything. We have basically everything, including our own money. So you must be aware of that fact. So we must reinstate that particular point. We must go back to Southern Cameroons, and then from there, after we are done, then we can change to Ambazonia. Because the fact is that we are known worldwide legitimately as Southern Cameroons. It's the name Ambazonia that actually gives the impression to the international community that we actually want to break away, or actually want to secede. We are cessationists. You know, yes, it can be a secessionist movement because although we are together before, illegally, we're trying to go out of that union. So we can't go out of that union. The name that you use, let me be very clear with you. And I want to explain this with a simple idea that just came to my head. This is an inspiration. I think it's just God that just pulled it to me. That I should explain to you people. I didn't think of this, to be honest. It just came. I should explain to you people using a marriage certificate. When you go to court, when you are married, Mola, if you are married, God forbid, I'm not praying for a divorce. When you want to go to court to go and divorce with somebody, you cannot go and divorce with another name. The name that has been on your marriage certificate, that is what's going to remain. When you have come out of that marriage, then you can now adopt a new name or any other name, because the documents that you have that is in court, that is known anywhere, is exactly the document that you use in divorcing. So, for example, if I'm going to divorce, or some other person is going to divorce, you are going to divorce as Eric Tataw. You are going to divorce as Jennifer Dekai, as Kemi Ashu, as Ashu Kingsley, as Mark Barita. You cannot go when you're married as Mark Barita, then you want to go and divorce. You want to go and divorce as Eric Tataw. Already, the judge is going to throw that case out, because the judge is going to say that you are not this person. Because what is your name? This is the name I see on the marriage certificate. It's Mark Barita. It's not Bovet Maloba. So if Bovet Maloba is going to divorce, Bovet Maloba will go and divorce as Bovet Maloba, and the name of the wife or girlfriend or whatsoever. So you cannot be Bovet Maloba and you want to go and divorce as Mola Mbua Wanja Wanja. Your name always, I have to take classes to pronounce your name correctly, Mola. Sorry about that. So we must know that fact that the issue is that I don't want us to query. That's why I'm taking time to explain. Please, Carl FJG. Ambazonia is very okay. It's perfectly fine. It's sweet. It's beautiful. It's excellent. That is true. But it is not contextual. You know, Ambazonia is not the name that we have to use now. You know, so I want us to understand my point. This is a time for sensitization. I'm trying to sell this idea to us. You know, we must understand. It is not an argument. You just tell me why you think Ambazonia is okay and why you think my argument is not okay. You know, because we already, exactly as somebody is saying, we are free Southern Cameroons, and we have to present our case at any level as Southern Cameroonians. Even in the British House of Lords, they were talking about Southern Cameroons, not about Ambazonia. So you cannot make documents go in there to talk about Ambazonia. You only go there and talk about Southern Cameroon. So I want to urge, that is true. Ambazonia is illegal. Yes, for now, it is an illegal name. But we are happy, you know, we are happy that a lot of people can understand us. The British Southern Cameroons should be adopted. I think that is what we should go by. And we understand exactly the nitty-gritties of the name Ambazonia, which we all love, which is all very sweet. We can change that after independence. So it should be clear that this is a proposal, and the name Southern Cameroon should be used in most of your posts. Call it Southern Cameroons. You can call it the Southern Cameroons Defense Forces, or the Southern Cameroons Army, the Southern Cameroons this, the Southern Cameroons that. With that said, this brings me to some other very important issues that I want to discuss. And I want to talk about the winning war as the people of Southern Cameroons. You know, the war is won and it's done, and I want us to understand. In Bali, you saw quite a number of corpses that was being paraded by the military. This is because the military understands that they have, Mr. Probia knows that he has lost the war, and the only way he can actually try to demoralize us. I'm one person, the only problem I have now is this social media grandstanding. I am one person who understands those psychological games that the regime is playing. And I have said to myself repeatedly that we cannot and we will never be deceived by that psychological warism of the Probia regime. Now, let me say this very clearly. The issue here is not about the display of the nonsense of stupid pictures that the military puts out there. For the military to first of all kill corpses, or to kill human beings, and then there are now corpses, and then the military puts that on social media. It tells you one thing. Everybody does that. If you look at my wall on National Telegraph especially, it's very rare that we post corpses, especially those that are very, very revealing. Why am I trying to say this? In Balinyonga, I had confirmation that the regime of Mr. Probia used some chemical weapons to make sure that some of our boys inhaled. But the total number of deaths that we recorded in Balinyonga has been put at, I think, very objectively at 22. But the big question is this. Are those 22 real fighters? And the answer is a no. Yes, there are a few fighters, but there are a lot of them are civilians. Some were killed from other areas and brought there, and they assembled those corpses to make sure that they try to intimidate us, to beat our psychologies and all of those. Why am I saying that we are winning the war? We are winning the war because of the very glaring examples on the ground. I'm not trying to encourage people to continuously fight or put a resistance. I'm just trying to let you know that to put the resistance against the BR regime, it is a zero tolerance option. It means that you must put that resistance to the end until we get independence for our people. You know, the lucrative nature of the psychological warfare that Mr. Biya thought that he could put on our people has actually failed. Just as God will have it, Mr. Probia's gendarmes in Jakiri have deliberately leaked out a video because they prefer to go to prisons in Konengi for leaking out military secrets than to stay in the northwest or southwest of Southern Cameroon. Some of our compatriots have said that that video is a setup, they're trying to kill our boys. I want to tell you that I do not believe in that. The video is sent from God. They were confused by God to leak it out on social media to rejuvenate your power, your strength, and to let you know that we are winning this fight. I want to assure you, fellow Ambazonians, that the era when you have to get afraid because you have seen 30, 40, 60, 80, 90 corpses or more has passed, because no matter what we do, if we do not liberate that country, the number of people that are going to be killed are going to be much, more. In fact, 200 times more than the numbers that have already been killed. Why am I saying this? I want to be emphatical on this particular issue of our victory because, as a matter of fact, I have seen it beyond bounds that Southern Cameroon has actually won the fight. Tomorrow is Saturday, and I have had information. I'm going to be posting some very detailed information. The regime of Mr. Paul Biya will be burying at least 30 soldiers in various parts of La République du Cameroon. I've had information, some others will be buried in the West region. They are already removing the corpses now. They are carrying the corpses to their villages. I've had this information. I'm going to be posting details, especially about one of the funerals that's going to take place in the West region. Others have been transported to the East regions. Some have gone to the far north. In fact, the military or the Biya regime has abandoned most of those corpses. Now, a lot of people, like my brother and my Larry brother and friend Clovis from Italy, is trying to talk about the setup in that video. No, I think I have looked at it critically. Why would they be setting you up? You already know that is Jakiri. Did they want you to come there to come and fight so that they kill you? No, I think look at the higher good of that video. That video gives us a perspective of the damaging socio-economic impact that the Southern Cameroon's war of independence has brought on the Biya regime. You must be aware that the Biya regime is trying to camouflage in order to make us feel as though they are still firm. It's a regime that is dead, is finished, is completely handicapped, is bankrupt, and is absolutely out of place. I mean, I want to tell you that Mr. Paul Biya and his Cameroon have no iota of good image at the level of the international community. Paul Biya's Cameroon has been known as one of the worst countries in the world ever, especially when it comes to human rights violation, despite the very nefarious intentions of the Secretary General of the United Nations, Antonio Guterres, to get Mr. Paul Biya's Cameroon in the United Nations Human Rights Commission or Council or whatever. I must tell you that Paul Biya's Cameroon has a zero good image in front of the international community. That is why you must see. Thank you, Bovet Maloba says the video is 100% real. It's very real, and those soldiers are crying very profusely. I must tell you very seriously that you must have noticed that during Paul Biya's inaugural ceremony took place on the 6th of November, it was boycotted even by President Muhammadu Buhari, who Paul Biya claimed once that sent some soldiers from Nigeria to march during the 20th May or 11th February or whatever. I must say this very categorically, that Paul Biya is finished, he's done, he's dusted, and now he thinks that his problem is burning down villages. I want to reassure you guys that there is a proposal that I'm going to make that is going to help to rebuild our villages, to give enough support to our self-defense forces, and to ensure that we keep the resistance for as many years as Paul Biya would want to push. And I want to also let you people know that Southern Cameroon is richer, in fact, 2 billion times more than La République du Cameroon. And as we speak, as individuals, we have more money put together than the whole of Biya's ministers, Biya's cabinet, and Biya's treasury. You know, the whole fight has come to a level where we must understand exactly the purpose for which we are fighting in order to keep the regime out of our territory. It is my singular order that some of you have mandated yourselves to begin to start understanding the raison d'etre for this war of independence. We are very clear, sincere to our point, and want to focus on the purpose for why we are fighting. We are a free country, and we'll die fighting, and we'll die forever defending that homeland. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Ambazonians, Mr. Paul Biya just recently contributed or donated a number of very high functional cars to the Ministry of Territorial Administration through the dictatorial, criminal, and very nefarious minister at Tanganji, Pida. Now, why was the regime doing that? A regime that has no clue of what is going on in terms of the finances has actually received contributions or aid from other countries like China, Chad, and all whatnot. And instead of using that money judiciously, they are busy borrowing cars in order to pay and give to administrators to tell Cameroonians across the Mongo and Southern Cameroonians in the other side of their own personal territory that all is well. All is never well because the regime is completely finished. It's done and dusted for Mr. Paul Biya. This is why it's done and dusted. Let me just get this real quick. We must say this because a lot of our people have refused to understand the nitty-gritties of this revolution, and it is our right to explain to them some of these very clear facts. So, in my opinion, I want us to stay focused. You saw the video in Jakiri, like Bovet Maloba was just telling us. It is a clear sign of victory, because that is not the only case. There are many cases where soldiers have abandoned. They have left duty and it is very hard, and Ambazonia is completely ungovernable. So we must stay focused and keep trust to our cause. Now, to you, Mark Barita, I am reading very closely on how these days you have been attacked, and I want you to hold your peace. I talk with Mark basically on a daily basis. We share information on a lot of things. We shared information during the murder of the priest in a Cameroon, and a lot of other things that we did. Now, in my opinion, I want to say this. Let me try to turn this phone off. Thank you. I have another phone. So God bless you. So, in my opinion, we should understand one thing, and I have reached out to many more of our compatriots, explaining to them the reason why they must stop the stuff they're doing on social media. I do not want to call names, but I want to think that I have the conviction that there's nobody here who's watching at this moment who is not in comprehension of what I'm trying to say. Let me tell you one thing. If at this juncture where we are pacifying the revolution, where you understand that there is a lobby firm that has been hired by Paul Biya Bingvondo to corrupt the image, to dirty the image of the Southern Cameroon's War of Independence on the international scene. You are aware of that fact, and that fact has been published by basically every activist. Now, if you're an activist who is supposed to fight for this revolution, and you still go on social media taking the corpses of Southern Cameroon civilians that have been killed, brutally murdered by La République du Cameroon, instead of you to publish pictures showing the carnage that La République is carrying on our young men, on our boys, on our girls, on our children, our daughters and our sons, on our parents, our mothers and fathers, our grandmothers, our grandfathers, on our animals, on our goods and charters. You come on Facebook and you sit in your home in one little corner and you nurse the courage, the momentum, the enthusiasm to post accusing another movement, a government in this revolution. What is your gain? You are instead giving a lot of evidence to the lobby firms for free to simply screenshot your post and say, this is an Ambazonian activist. This is what he's saying. Remember that Colonel Didier Badger quoted me in one of his writings, or one of his interviews with Ellie Smith, because they are looking for every way to quote us, because we are the only people who can authenticate our own stories. So it is a big scandal, and we need to pray for this group of persons who still put pictures accusing the interim government of committing an act on the ground, or those who put pictures accusing the AGC for committing some act on the ground. In my entire life, in this revolution, if I've done once, it is a big mistake that I continuously ask for pardon. That I have not seen myself coming to put a picture saying that the ADF killed this person. I've done that once or twice in my outings, which was totally wrong, and I admit. But this is a time where we have to re-strategize. We have to move out from the cocoon of negativity, from the roller coaster of stupidity, and go back to our senses when we have become real activists. Mark Barita, brother and friend, stay on that lane. I want to let you know that your new policy has had my endorsement 100%. I've seen that some of our compatriots in this revolution, they have consistently attacked you for doing the right thing. I did once, and I did it for purpose, and everybody could measure who speaks the truth and who says what is not right. At this level, or this juncture in this revolution, we do not want to justify the extent to which we have contributed, but we want to be remembered with the extent to which we embraced reconciliation when it was much needed. The most essential thing is that a lot of our compatriots have deliberately refused, probably by some spur or some other thing that I don't understand, to bring themselves to the understanding of the aspiration of the 10 million people. I must tell you all, ladies and gentlemen, that there is a bigger picture in front of us. And you must understand that the prerogatives of any group or whosoever that is involved in this revolution must be backed by the very essence of the aspiration of the people. Every time I want to come live on Facebook, I would ask myself, what is it that our people want? I will have to ask myself those very intriguing questions about the aspiration of the Ambazonian people, because that is what would matter for a leader. That is what would matter for anybody who wants to think about those number of people who have died. God forbid, should I ever put any group, myself or family, above 10 million people. I understand that it is the obvious characteristics of that particular possessive attitude of human beings, in which case I'm not exempted from that very negative characteristics. But I am fighting hard to move out from that negativity, and I think God is helping me to combat that negativity. It is important for you to know that it is a very rare privilege for you to touch the lives of people and to touch the life of groups. You must move out of that particular point where you only look at groups. We have never build our own identities based on staying in our houses, our living rooms, and fighting only for our families. The biggest names, there have been people who have represented nations. They have represented bigger societies. The Samuel Eto'os, they made their name because they were representing Cameroon at the time, playing football for Cameroon. The Super Makiam made their names because they were protecting and fighting a wrestling match on behalf of the nation. Magbarita made his name and is still making his name because he was doing activism for the Ambazonian people. You can't make your name doing activism for the IG. You can't make your name doing activism for AGC. You wouldn't make your name doing activism for Bovid Maloba or doing activism for Kemita Shu or for Mark Barita. You only make your name, a really big name, fighting for the global interests of the world and for the people that you believe should be served justice. And the Ambazonian people have suffered a whole lot, and we want to urge all activists to calm down, to understand, to get a break and think about what is bigger, the Ambazonian people or a group. Once you decide to understand and answer that question, you would have delivered yourself from a time bomb that will destroy you in the nearest future. At this juncture, ladies and gentlemen, I urge you all, fellow Ambazonians, to pray for our compatriots seriously, for God to touch your hearts, to understand that to apologize is not a weakness, to embrace reconciliation, and to be on the path of a dynamic, objective judge of the revolution will help them even further. At this juncture, I want to salute all your efforts, especially the people of Ndonga Manthong, through this Undersecretary, or the Secretary for Communication, if I'm not mistaken, Secretary Comfort, who was on Joshua Carr's live show just a while ago. Before I continue, I want to say a big shout out to you, brother and friend Joshua Carr Mano. My respect for you have turned and converted yourself into one of the biggest forces in this revolution. People hail you, they love you, you're doing quite well and so excellently well. Far more than a lot of us are doing. And I want to thank you very much for being very objective. Keep speaking the truth and do not let your ideas or your objectivity be consumed by the IG or any group. This brings me to this very important stuff. In one of my outings, I've talked about a database for huge donors in our revolution. We are committed as a people to forge ahead, irrespective of the differences of the various factions that are fighting for the liberation of Southern Cameroon. And so, based on this, I have had an inspiration from God that has asked, when I proposed this to my friend Walter Skeyaka, we did some modification. And I always like to give credit because I thought of this. I called Waters Keyaka, and I tell Waters Keyaka that I would like us to have something like the Southern Cameroon's Development Bank. The Waters Keyaka said, I prefer us to have, because based on the idea that I explained, he said he prefers us to have something like a Southern Cameroon Rehabilitation Fund. After lyric debates, and he put out his point why he thinks is a rehabilitation fund, I dropped the issue of the development bank and I went with the Southern Cameroon's Rehabilitation Fund that I have now made an abbreviation for it. It is called the SOCAREF. SOCAREF is for Southern Cameroon Rehabilitation Fund. What is this fund? It is not in any way going to be very different from county by county, but it is a supplement for unity. It is a kind of panacea to cure disunity. In fact, it is a catalyst to bring all the leaders together, whether or not they like it. We have to urge all Southern Cameroonians to discontinue financial contribution to any group, irrespective of whether it's a government. I want to say this very authoritatively here without fear of favor, because it would appear to me it is the fact that most of these groups and leaders are actually after financial gains that they have refused to begin to talk to each other. I have not said that exactly after financial gains, but I was just making an observation that has come to me from many people. Now, we want to be very clear with this. In this Southern Cameroon's Rehabilitation Fund, we are proposing, I don't want to say I have, so we are proposing a very strategic way of donating, like I said in my last video, and this should go a long way to salvage the revolution. Now, with this Southern Cameroon Development Fund, we want to put a database of at least 1,500 or 2,000 people that would actually put in like a kind of treasury bonds or shares, $2,000 each into the Southern Cameroon Rehabilitation Fund. Who are the members of the Southern Cameroon Rehabilitation Fund? They're going to be members from the various counties, from the 13 or 14 counties. There can be 2 members from each of those counties who will come to form the management board of the Southern Cameroon Rehabilitation Fund. The money that will be put there to be managed by this group of persons. No one person is going to have access to this money, and the board of directors that are going to sit there to discuss on how they will begin to build back our villages, how they will get stuff that will assist our people to defend themselves, how they will how they will reach out to our refugees, how they will assist our detainees, and that will be done as a collective, a collective attempt to solving the problem of disunity and managing the finances. On behalf of my family, my wife and I want to wish a Merry Christmas to everybody before I continue, and to say that I have taken upon myself to be the first donor in this Southern Cameroon's Rehabilitation Fund. My family will be putting at the disposal of this fund $2,000 to start this fund. As soon as it's started, we're going to put this money in that fund. Who are going to be the members? Will Eric Tataw be a member? No, Eric Tataw is not a member. In fact, I have urged all our activists to be auditors in this fund, where in this particular rehabilitation fund, where we will come out there to blow the whistle and tell people who is trying to steal our money. With 13 counties or 14 counties, we can have a total of 28 people, but when it becomes too large, it will be kind of bureaucratic. And so we would want to hope that it can be 14, where we have people from various counties. You put, and everybody who's coming to be part of that board should be ready to put in at least $2,000. So the $2,000 is the minimum amount. You can put more if you like. Because what I've realized is that 99.99% of the people who make a lot of noise on social media, they do not contribute any dime to the struggle. They only help to deepen the pain of the people, the common man who is on ground zero, who is watching from some corner and hoping to get hope from activists, but their hearts are always every time being shattered by the quarreling on social media. And I think that we must understand one thing, that this particular moment, we have medical doctors, a lot of very huge and gigantic pocket Southern Cameroonians who are out there and who can actually make huge contributions, but they don't know how to go about it. So we have proposed this, and anybody who wants to work on this can reach out to me, Walter Skeyaka, and every other person, Mark Barita, Ashu Kingsley. We are talking all of these in the background in order to try to shut down any leader who thinks that they will not contribute because they will have contributions. So we'll have to come in while the interim government is there. They should look for a means to get everybody included, just as Mark Barita has proposed. But we want to create this Southern Cameroon's relief fund as fast as possible and get everybody, every Southern Cameroonian to come on deck, put your hands on deck, put your money in that fund, get your receipt, and your identities will be protected. That money will be managed by people from 13 counties, and this platform will be the referee to say, hey, Boven Maloba, you are in that fund, you are part of the board of directors. Boven Maloba, they gave you $10,000 to go and get this, so that we can sue people in their names for taking money and not trying to pay back, or taking money and not executing the project. That fund could also be used to lend out money to Southern Cameroonians in the diaspora, where they will sign papers to get that money lent out to them. We have to think about all of these things, because this war is not going to end as soon as we think. We hope it ends soonest, but while we try to stay on the wall, not to give up, we have to think of strategies to actually hold this war tighter for Mr. Biya to ever think that he's going to win. We could also be thinking of putting a lot of this money in this fund, and you will be recognized when we gain independence. Some people will come to say that people will put money here because they want to have positions when we get Ambazonia. No, that is not true. So we do not want to get anybody trying to misconstrue or misinterpret the raison d'etre behind this. So the Southern Cameroon Rehabilitation Fund is going to be for the entire Ambazonian, while in the meantime, all those who are in their various counties, the BLM, Manu, everywhere, I still urge you, like Joshua Kai is doing, to continue with your county by county. But let's also pick up some good ideas that some people who believe in the block by block are proposing, so that we can make county by county the best. For example, some people think that in the county by county approach, people make camps. That is not true. Whether in block by block or county by county, everybody has a camp. So it's only unfortunate that you can be located and you are killed in your camp and stuff like that, which in most cases is due to our negligence, where we take pictures of our camps and put on social media, and La Republic will either use infiltrators or some kind of GPS to locate our camps, like the case of Bali. If you look at the Bali picture or the Bali camp, you'll see that in one of the pictures days before, one of the commanders took a picture and put on Facebook, and the building was showing. And the next day they killed some of them in that particular place using chemicals, because they didn't shoot them, they were not able to kill them, they used the chemicals to kill them. So all of these things I think we have to amend. Why you get your camps, you can always hit and run like Tapang is proposing, like Beneza Kwanga is proposing, but it doesn't stop the fact that we are going, everybody is fighting according to their counties. No matter how we twist it, no matter how we put it, the defense of every country is based on particular locations. Nobody fight like a ghost and just fight anyhow. So we will keep on praying for all those of you in Momo, those of you in Dian, Fako, everywhere, please. The people of, I think it's Bui, if I'm not mistaken, they have reached out to me about their county stuff. We're going to talk about it and put up very strategic, methods of communicating this to the public. So in the meantime, let's look at this Southern Cameroon Relief Fund. I'll talk about it very, very extensively. Before I get to the last stuff, somebody's talking about decrying the videos issue. Yes, nobody should be posting videos on social media. Videos should be completely out of place, because videos and pictures of fighters in various camps, they have actually killed us tremendously. But that notwithstanding, as you have already seen from the circumstances that are prevailing, we are winning the war fatly. That is why Mr. Biya can only burn down our villages. Before I go, I have learned that CRTV 5 p.m. news, the Cameroon government has actually mentioned me as the person who perpetrated or masterminded the killing of the Kenyan priest in Kembong. Okay, we want to thank the Cameroonian government for the wisdom that Satan has given them to continuously discredit themselves. That if the Bishop of Mamfe had put out a notice saying that the soldiers killed the Kenyan priest, and you go on 5 p.m. news, you put it out because you think that you want the American ambassador to hear that, you want foreign diplomats to hear, so that they can implicate me in the United States, or Kenyans who are my friends, so they can begin to get very vexed with me. want to tell you that we are keeping those documents that those authorities are signing very jealously, because that is what we're going to use to nail a Republic to Cameroon. And I'm not afraid when I'm accused. I'm not bothered about it. I just took time to remind Colonel DJ Bajek, whom I know is watching this show at this time, for him to know that he should surrender, because he's one of those people that I must arrest before, during, or after independence. And when I arrest him, I will teach him how to fix Gary, the way the Bangi man fixes Gary. So I want that to be very clear. It should be a clear message to Bajek, and that we are also aware of those that have sent around to come and hunt, track us, and kill us. I'm watching them closely, and I want to let them know that the only one thing that they have failed to understand at this time for the Republic to Cameroon, this is the only one thing that I failed to understand. Only one thing, that for somebody like me, I know where I'll die. I don't know the date, I don't know the time, but I know where I will die. I will die in Boya. So if you, for now, you cannot, which means that it's only after independence. So there is no way. You can send your finest men in America, they will not get Eric Tataw. Trust me. Ask anybody who's close to me. I am smoke. Look at me. Not jazz, nothing. Look at me. Look at my hands. I am clean, but I'm smoke. Nobody can kill me. Nobody. That one should be very clear. So if they send you here to come and do anything, you have to come really good. I mean, you have to be the best of the best. And the best of the best, because when I know you are the best, I'll pick you up, but I'll sympathize with you because you are the best, because you have the strength, and I'll let you go. So if you're coming here from the Republic to Cameroon and you ever think of anything about Eric Tataw, you are failed. There is no way. There is no way. Nobody. I'm very serious about it. This one is nobody. See, let me be very clear. Those who know me from Mamfi, they will tell you that when I was publishing National Telegraph, all the Agbotabis and the rest, from the mayor of Mamfi and a lot of those people, they tried every means to do something to me. They did not succeed. But I lived in Mamfi, I went to Perosa, I drank all of those things. So I'm just letting this regime to know one thing, that to kill me, it is something that is very difficult, because man did not make me. I will die in Boya, and I want that fact to be very clear to La Republic. Do not waste your money. Do not send people. Do not put my name in your list, because you cannot get me. Never. You will never get me. Let me say it. The FBI is aware of these things I'm saying. That there is, listen, maybe, I don't even want to care about the fact that America is secure. I don't care about that fact. I care about the fact that I know who I am. I know who I am. See, in my career as a journalist, people have put poison in my meal. I know that there's poison, I eat it. And then they are waiting for me to die. They have waited. They didn't see me. Then every day they see that this man, I'm going about my business. So all Ambazonians should be calm. Put your faith in God. Put your faith in God. Now, I end this show with this other very crucial part. The lawyers. The lawyers must know this. You know, today is the 23rd. And we want to make it very clear to the lawyers that they blast off anybody that is in participation will face me. I don't want to say Ambazonians, please let me, I beg you. It's not being, I want to take it. I want to be personal. Listen. Any lawyer that's watching should look. I don't say things that I don't do. Ambazonians, leave this one for me. See, this revolution is based on the foundation of the lawyers. And the reason why we moved to this stage, it was because the lawyer started something. And any lawyer that goes to La Republic, see, let me tell you something. I don't want to talk about Justice Ayapo. I respect him. But I have an article that I'll write about Justice Ayapo when I saw a picture of him in court. And some people are clapping. Let me tell you. See, if you go to defend somebody in La Republic, it has shown clearly during the events that were unfolding in the Constitutional Council that there is no judiciary in this present dispensation. There is no legislative in this present dispensation. There is only an executive arm. Listen, let me tell you something. Do not listen. Nobody can convince me for what reason why somebody. Listen, it is a very crazy crazy analysis that nobody can convince me. It is pure greed for anybody to go and say that you want to go and defend Anglophones. Forget about the Anglophones in jail. We know how we'll get them out. No lawyer can get the real Manchum BBC and Siseko out. Take for example, let me shock you. Let me shock you people. Do you know that Paul Biya has signed the release of Siseko and they have held it? You remember in one of my posts I tweeted that Siseko will be released. They were supposed to release Siseko on the date that they went to court with Barrister Fujonso. But they held them. Why do you think they have transferred them to Konendi? They were inside. They transferred them ceremoniously. Because there is a lot of pressure from the international community. And so, there is no lawyer that can defend them. Barrister Fujonso is doing a very fantastic job. And the government cannot give them credit. They have already signed Siseko's release. But Biya is trying to look which time, what is the atmosphere, how am I going to use this for political gains? And Siseko is not bothered. Patterson is not bothered. We do not need anybody. You cannot want to be getting out of a system, then you go and you are allowing that system to endorse you. It's like you say that, because I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm very shocked at Ayapo's decision. It's a disgrace for somebody like Aya. If people cannot say it, I have to say it. Because you cannot say that you want to get out of Catholic Church, then you still go for a Catholic priest to baptize you. Are you getting out of Catholic Church? No, let me be fair with us. Even if I assume that Ayapo and the rest, they want federation. Do you want federation by going to a French court? Will federation not when federation comes, it means that the Anglophone lawyers will have to be doing their own things the other way. So you cannot have, see here, I want to say it here on record, that any lawyer, might talk of pidgin, any lawyer where don't get any participation in any way, we will get the name out. For that general elective bar stuff. Me, I go teach you lesson. Me, Eric Tataw. You hear? Me. Because these guys don't understand. You cannot go to La République. Whether it's a court in Boya, so long as it's Paul Biya, there is no legislation, there is no a judiciary in Cameroon. There is only one branch, one arm of government, that is executive. Paul Biya decides everything. Yes, that's a fact. So by now, we should have known. Not that lawyers are so, there is nothing. And I will also pass a message to Fundi. Anybody, any parliamentarian, any mayor that will go for these legislative elections will have me to face. Because this is time when we have to start taking personal responsibilities to liberate the Ambazonian people. Because nothing is going to happen. You only go to legitimize the regime. Or imagine Ayapo's picture shown to the international community. That this is his lawyer, this magistrate that retired, that we put in jail. This is him. He is now a lawyer, still in Cameroon. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? Until Paya was there, smiling, or doing what on picture that duty calls. Duty did not call. It's karma that called you. You know why? I'm going to publish a story about Justice Aya so that you understand what I'm saying. I'm going to publish a picture about a story about Justice Aya and a certain girl that was standing on that picture. I want you to read that probably on my wall tomorrow. Because it's a disgrace. It's a very big disgrace. Duty did not call. And some of you were posting that nonsense on social media, giving the lobby firm more information to use and kill us. That a man who was locked up, a man who was crying left and right, that, oh, they have done me this. Then he goes back to the same man. I always chopping shit. That's a problem. You have to be objective to tell these people the truth. Now, Southern Cameroonians will not have people who are only putting themselves in front. It's a big disgrace. It's a big disgrace. That is a regime manipulation. That you have a man of that standing, he's playing with the lives of people. How would all people on earth, Aya Paul Abine, will go and say that duty calls? In which country? At what time of this revolution? And none of you have seen that. None of you have seen that to delete those pictures on Facebook. That we are fighting for independence or for federation like some of them are claiming. And you go, you are prostituting with the same country that locked you up. Is that correct? Let me tell you something. We have to look at the deeper picture. Ayapo is betraying us. Maybe he's not doing it intentionally, but he needs to be schooled on this fact. They cannot lock you. You are everywhere on social media. We cry for you. You came out. And then, all of a sudden, you are going back to the court. The same like Republic Court. What can you do? You didn't do nothing as a Supreme Court judge. You were locked up as a Supreme Court judge. What will you do as a lawyer? No, that's what I want to ask you. What can Aya do? Nothing. He has nothing. He has nothing to offer. It's simply because they want to have more pictures in their memoirs. To say, I left magistracy after I was locked up. I went to the court. I got sworn in as a lawyer. So what? So bloody what? Aya should have taken the opportunity. Aya should have taken the opportunity to address that court. Until post saying that he's going to school the magistrate in La République. They're going to teach them. He's going to teach them nothing because they know everything more than him. That's why they are not mixing themselves. But Michel Ngongi or the other lady with Bala and the rest, you people were seeing Constitutional Council here that no, these lawyers are good there. Oh, they have finished La République. No, nobody finishes that government because the government is a government that has only one arm, the administration, the executive. When Pobia, everything that they say in the parliament or anywhere, something that Pobia calls on phone. And you tell them that, say this. You say anything, you are gone. It is a cabal that Aya Paul Abine is endorsing. He should come out and denounce that nonsense that he went and took from the court there. He should be ashamed of himself. Nonsense. Aya Abine should tell his father that that's what Eric Tataw is saying. That is a disgrace. He has put a very big piece of debt on his family. It's a very, upon all the good things that your son is doing, you only going to go and take a position as a lawyer. When we are saying that lawyer should boycott, lawyer should do this. Bala that has gone to all sort of international levels. He could not do anything in La Republic because it's you, Aya, because you are a magistrate. No. This is a disgrace. It's something that we cannot condone. I'm telling you people, any lawyer, even, see, my talk now, any lawyer we no say no, he get hard. Any lawyer, I don't talk to be ready for go jail. Now tell you, me and he talk to anyone. If I see any lawyer, any lawyer, we go don't go participate for any way for that bad thing. Me, I'm arrest him. Keep it until after independence. I couldn't anywhere. My name is Eric Tataw. No lawyer, no the way he passed 10 put on that. My turn now put down, come, cut the place. He talks about red lawyer. Them. Go get FBI, give any person. I don't talk him. Now my right. Nonsense. See, me to lawyer go for them. Me a go. It's a shame. It's a big shame. I mean like a very big shame. A fat shame. If the lawyers are not before we start, anything gets start. Maybe we're not for them for this situation. Now don't enter there, you say you won't come out, be go tom. Now which kind of thing? And the other man, they don't tell them why they call on a lawyer. So when they're hungry, they'll come back and they go back. They go back shamelessly. 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 Listen, look at my lips. Eric Tataw is my name. I will deal with any lawyer who will go participate for any concerning our republic. Yes, anyone. With that said, before I come back for the issue for Aya Paul, please, for Oku, Wotutu, My Four, and other places and for Southern Cameroon, I'm not talking about forces they do, but make any man wearing an Ambazonia, make it deceased from the idea say, if you go take some person, ask 1,000, say me family send for you. That approach is wrong. If you get that approach, you get that approach, especially first the day for Oku and for Bamising, when they don't report to me. They must stop it. I have a lot of people complaining about their people. So we don't know. I'm just trying to pass this as a precautionary warning that if you're an Ambazonian fighter, because there's a mechanism that I'm going to propose in the days ahead to various generals to ensure that this thing is executed. If we arrest you where you indulge in kidnapping, we know what to do. You, in fact, you don't even appear for no video, but you don't appear again for any place. That's the fact. Any person, I already tell the generals of Fako, say any person where they see do that kind of thing, you know, appear for no video, but you don't appear again for society. So, more get this point very clear. Because the regime don't put people they do these dirty jobs, and the frustrated population, they go show camps for the Amber fighters. In some cases, now the Amber fighters, where you see, for example, when you say, you say they don't go catch some fighters or some camp, for example, how military do go that camp? Because say it actually kidnap some person. You carry, you go for that camp, you go see your camp. In a person with that village, he know that area too, like you. So when you take it, go there you go take money for your family, you go live it. He not fit live now. He not fit. Even a me, I not live am. So even a me, I not live am. I must go show that camp. And you know fit to start the betray. And revenge not be betrayer. Betrayer means until you man not do nothing, you just go report until we not do am. Now betrayer that. So if you want to be safe, do not take anybody go anywhere, because God is that time. Even God said that time while I getting audition, which you know work. So stay out of these issues. Leave a tongue and they do them so that they know if you track what comes. Now one of the reasons that way they go track comes them, because either you see a camp put on Facebook, or you go cash your man go to a camp, you go torture it, you take money for your picking there or your family, then you can't leave them back. They will go show your camp. They will go show your camp, and when they show your camp, God is going to neutralize that power, because God not like thief man. God not like man to kidnap another man, go torture him. So this is what we must avoid. All fighters, listen to me. I'll still do small audio for send around. If you want to stay for we need to cry any person way they go key for camp some kind of way for group. Me say because that you hear to a governor for Northwest talk say they not be fit succeed for the key fighters of the camp without the collaboration of the population. Because people, by the point they complain. Say some of those few fighters they kill them before they kill that civilian they add and they now because say this on team they happen so person go show so and military always see that camp for Facebook. So we must desist, please, any man for our various counties or when the act for our counties, we must take this message, give restoration forces with a lot of firmness. Me no man, if you die hungry, like the other guy Victoria Sharp, they call me, I don't record their complaint and I'm going to act. Me no man, not go for so, not go, because once you go take something, you remember when audacious they be very effective as we hear. Now because they say you need to take things for the person by force. During that time the fight was going well. Now picking them, they harass people, you fight na independence or they harass na people, population, people they get to protect them. We don't know who you are. Because whether or not we not say all in a Southern Cameroonians, but we'll get bad Southern Cameroonians the way they endorse for very criminal things. So we must put our hands together for fight this criminality inside our independence. So I need, for me, for example, they get picking the killer for Binka. I'm not vexed because they go for go thief Alaji. They go take Alaji money, say me give them 2 million. They take that cow them, they kill them. That's fine. Bye bye. You are dead. You are gone. You went to do something bad and God punish you. Finish. Go solve your problem for hell. No can disturb for our independence. If you dare any village, take for example, most of those fighters that program with the talk, they call me. Grandpa will do okay. This is how you're supposed to do. This is how you're supposed to do. Don't do that. Don't do this. You cannot. Not ever. Me no fighter. Not ever for a life. Take 1 franc from any person because if picking for America, they contribute for the movement. No, at the top the thing, use your conscience. If you do, I say don't be Ambazonia. And God, I pray only for one thing, me to kill you. I pray only for one thing. So if you take man, ask ransom. I pray God, me to locate you, kill you in Jesus' name. Now your punishment that you deserve punishment. Because I don't know what people that they go through. Their family, they contribute for her. Even me, don't kidnap even my relative. Yes. And I assume say I thank the boy they do them because the people they be doing, I don't even know them. But we got to struggle for release a person behind the scene. So we got to take note for the fact. We got to move away from this particular thing because you get only one prayer. Make you meet up your water low if you take 1 franc from the person. If you get issues, they already organize for the counties. You know say the BLM na the Monday. Also, no fight. I don't even go and not get my number. Call me, say you didn't have meme, you didn't have this time, so you don't do. If you didn't have Coupe Manimbuba, I'll connect you for Ebon Kingsley. Ebon Kingsley will take care for you. If you didn't have Fako, Joshua Car will tell now. Every yesterday for Thanksgiving, I give person number for Joshua Car for 1 a.m. where the person won't contribute for Fako. Where Joshua Car, they get for picky call for night, where they sit there for deep sleep. Because that is how it's supposed to be. If you get issue of Fako, be fighter, be new fighter. For Joshua Cargo talk how many fighters of Fakwe they don't call me, I don't connect to them. They don't solve their problems. And they see talk up and say, beginning of Victoria Shack, they don't complain, they need something. I will get to Joshua Car. They go solve their problem. I don't give the number of format. So if you be fighter for any place, get to now I will talk to the county, but I cannot be any point. I say put the misinterpret. If you be there now, Bui, get to me. I will just call my life to say any man for Bui man will come with me. I bet you I say, okay, this fighter they done so. Now you know your people there for damn day. Una stop point for day, una make sure that point they find no one here about kidnapping again. Because that kidnapping not be part of our culture, not what they do. So we must make sure so fight against this thing. Because population only over suffer. Another thing I want to extend for fighters and I say something there where they say the Son of Man is Lord of the Sabbath. Me no fighter not go attack person wey go bush for go stand there for go find chop, but not come out for go stand there. But in case some man temptation really hungry do it, instead protect that man, he go cut plantain for a farm, he go chop, go leave it back for a house. Because Jesus Christ himself will defy Sabbath. So go stand there on Sabbath. We must protect our people then. It be very important because all your stage of revolution we will need to build back confidence of population. So we will not be continuous. Okay, just as I will talk. So we will not be continuously put population for torture. Another thing I want to talk now, reverend fathers and priests, men of God. I don't always thank them because they pray for we. They pray not for we as Ambazonians or as Southern Cameroon. They pray for justice. So make no Ambazonian fighter, no see father for road because now only military they shoot father. Now military shoot Wesco, Charles Truman Wesco, American missionary for Bambui. Now military shoot them. Father Alexander Sop from Moyoka. Now military shoot them. Now military shoot Father Reverend Pastor Isaac Atto. Now military shoot them. Then just recently Father Cosmas, the Kenyan. Now still military shoot them. So we as Ambazonians we get for now. When I see anything happen in the Republic, one can accuse me. You get to know the reason why they only find me for accuse me now because they know say they need to corrupt my image. They are praying and say they arrest me. They arrest me. But how the people arrest me? They talk true. That's the question. So I preach all these things for be as testimony to my stand when I ever change the revolution. And I don't continuously preach for justice, for peace, and for the unconditional arrest for any defaulter for the war of independence. I use the word arrest for Facebook Live. You can't even fear for using them. In war, you arrest people. So we must understand this particular fact. So it is very important for understand the level where this revolution don't reach. So mommy, papa them, all na for Oku, I don't hear on complain. The people for Wututu, I don't hear on complain. People for Boya, Munya, all those areas, your own side where they harass your people, then get to me. My telephone number is always there. For more detail, if you give an plus, because the American code na +1. So if you call for out of America, you just put +1 202 390 2247. +1 202 390 2247. Now my telephone number that. Call me, or you call Mark Barita, or you call Tapang Ivo, or you call Capo Daniel. Call any activist. Put your problem for you. If he help you, if you call me, I go react as fast as I fit. So now, so we get for work now like family, because our people they need back our confidence. We atang and report or try to destroy them. So all man get for make sure. Even if you call Patu, Mariama Patu or Patu Yayatu, it today for Fakwe, you take care of them picking over that side. We now work with all man. We get small thing for contribute and we not share revolution. Now so we get for work for team. We like team now. Before some point, we talk about the Southern Cameroon's Rehabilitation Fund, where I will continuously explain them for my next and subsequent live shows. So maybe we stay committed because this revolution don't reach a stage where Paul Biya, they make sure say it corrupt the image of the revolution. So we must remain strong as a people. Pray for God. For any activist where it cause division, where you see like divisive thing them. Joshua Carr, for your last live show, if you talk some very important thing, let's say you get magic, because you get open heart, so God will inspire you too. We talk to Walter Skeyaka and Mark Barrett and Ashu Kingsley, where I call on the principle of isolationism. I will talk to one for 2 minutes before I go. The one for all I mean them for various WhatsApp groups. Next time I come, I will emphasize on it. If you get any activist where write say IG has done this, he post them for that WhatsApp group, just go for setting, just take it out of the group. Just move it out. Because we don't want any negative message from people that for instance drive positivity for the movement. So when you go take out some activists, out for all major WhatsApp groups, when they get part of that posting, the people they read them. You see, I'm some of them they posting and normally share them. So once they post, when you take them out, you take all the out. When someone not come out for 20 WhatsApp groups or 30, we not get access because they don't post negativity against the struggle. That man not go post again. He go the back now, beg me they pull it back. So we get to put that one for our head. When they post that nonsense or that war, like they post and say me go comment. Like Joshua Kabli talk. If you like vex her, like me, just she don't you quiet. May say not see the post, not comment it. When he go start understand, say things that don't change. So we pray God, me all these activists that come back to their senses, me they not say people they matter. I'm gonna live politics for one corner. So thank you very much. Once more, a big thank you to all the activists, Yufaka Eugene, Capo Daniel, Bella Franklin, Kemi Ashu, Boved Madoba, the almighty Mark Barita, the General Tapang Ivo, Joshua Kai, Yannick Sikot, Atanga Achiri, Nelson Ochemba, Ray Baba, Salas Atenfor, Vivian Bangui, Abu Free, Mami Gerard, in fact, all of them. Atenfor Love, James Braddock, I don't forget now. In fact, all man when I, you know, I don't remember because I don't write the name. So, Mr. Actually, not vex, I'm not calling Ashu Kingsley on earth this year. I won't forget my own man for Inside House. So, we pray for all activism. We put our hands together. Everybody, Lucas Asu, I almost forget Lucas Asu. So, we put our hands together. We make sure say me all man come. We need this team. We work Kemi Ashu. So, may God bless all man. You know, we be as a team. You know, I beg we so much. And I don't forget Sikot Johnson for Momo County. Waiting for waiting for Finland. So I remember all now. So God bless you now. County by county, we stay focused and we sure say we preach just oneness. And if your man tells a county by county not fine, now so they actually say, okay, bro, I like that thing. How if you say I make me better, so that me did the way you go like him. So from there we move on because all of our query for social media, I need help no man. So now we have to stay very focused so that me they fight, they go ahead. So thank you very much. And once more, I will not forget all my day for London, for UK. Mark Barita, book launch. Oh, Solomon and Mambo, my man. See, I forget my main people. Of course, Caroline Fru, that's General Cadiz, to say, of course. Ambazonia Bobo, my own man. Yeah, I don't forget you two. You're very strong activist. God bless you. Doro Mega, Doro Boston, another strong activist to the help or promote the struggle. So we pray for all man very extensively. I beg any activist, I don't forget any mean of vex. I don't forget. So Akosin Pauline Diale and Akosin Raymond, I pray to you for now. God bless you now. Bella Franklin, God bless you. Everybody, thank you so much. We are one and we must stay as a team to win this fight. So I think I'm going to end here at this juncture. So we'll try to be united and we'll forget all these divisive talks and they need help no man. We'll look away like Republic soldiers at the cry. And of course, one spirit. I think I'll end here with the person type one spirit. God bless you. Okay, bye-bye. So once more, happy Christmas. In advance and stay blessed. We'll always talk happy Christmas till further notice. And don't forget Kuku that blinks, Walter Skeyaka, and who else? Any other activities I don't forget to so have you jota here? Atta John. Okay, what was Atta John non lost, eh? Atta John non really lost. So Franco now. Well, I hope I don't forget no man. Wait again, I don't forget them. Driscoll DJ, yes, Driscoll. Oh, I'm not mentioned News. Okay, thank you very much. God bless you guys, okay? We'll stay focused because that is the game, all right? So we're changing this and make sure that the Republic is crippling. Oh, of course, I know if you forget Immaculate Kumen, another activist that too. Thank you very much. When I remember me, I the talking thing out of script, so I don't remember all my name. Nick Cannon, thank you so much. God bless you, Nick Cannon. All right, so bye-bye. Stay safe. I'll leave you guys now for now. So we'll stay committed and pass this message. We'll continuously try to put our perspectives and together for see the best. God bless you. Before I go, one other, although I announced another radio and the Mark Barita book, I really want I mean all my way for UK me go there because you feel some big surprise today. I salute to Dr. David Makongo. Bye bye. Thank you. God bless you.